Previously
late in
on
the
my
evening.
farming
We are pushing to get some drilling done because the rains are coming tomorrow. Well, there you are. We are back at the quarry. I've played cricket a few times in there. Not much happening at the moment, it would look like. Never are you happier than when you have a digger to play with. What are we doing? Voucher's been very impressive. We've all had a bit of a go on it. We got some ploughing done with it over at Bellum, over at Moor Farm the other day. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to My Farming Life. You join me in my masses. I'm carting a trailer load, or soon to be a trailer load of wool down from South Healy to Bellum. We have eventually found ourselves a buyer for this. Now, it's pretty much going to be pennies on the dollar of what it's worth, but that's where wool is at the moment, and every little helps at the minute. So we will get this taken away. But first, we need to go back on over to our yard. I'm going to be meeting Bungle and my cousin down there because we want to have a bit of a chat about a few different things. We have a bit of a crisis at Moor Farm at the moment, and I'm hoping, well, long term we have a solution for it. Short term, I'm hoping the solution has arrived. And if it has, then we're in great condition and we don't need to worry too much. We should be fine. But if it hasn't, or indeed it won't be, then we're going to have a little bit more of a problem to try and solve. So we're just going to take ourselves up here. And see what that looks like for us, really. It's been a bit of a day of small little bits and pieces, really. Feeding everything up. We've caught that bit of muck there this morning as well, and because they were getting a little bit out of hand down here, and then yeah, just a few little things like that. But otherwise, really, all the main cultivation jobs for the year are done. Everything's in the ground, everything's coming through and looking relatively okay, actually. Quite happy with it so far. And we'll have to see if the winter's kind to us or not, or if it's just a wet washout. But everything's in there I needed to have in, and then we will be ready to go in the springtime. The ground that Uncle was plowing over there in the last episode is finished. We've even got a cover crop in there as well, and that's looking, you know, as good as it can do, given this about a week old at this stage. And yeah, we've got most of our fertilizer here. Still one more load to come at some stage, but I'm not too concerned about that yet because A, we don't need it right now, and B, we received the invoice when we received delivery. So if I can stem that cash flow just a little bit and stop that coming in anytime soon, then I will be all about that. Because we have a large expense coming up. Now, we mentioned in the previous episode that we are looking to do some significant yard improvements with the help of a couple of grant schemes there as well, but for the most part it will be our own investment, and we are really looking to transform one side of this farmyard, and this thing on our right plays a bit of a part in that. And before we go any further, really, I'm gonna have a bit of a look around and show you what I mean, because yeah, there's quite a few things that can be changed here. Well, that's a sudden gear change down. Anyway, let's probably, until I figure out what we're going to do with this, let's leave this here. So, this farmyard was built originally about 40 years ago, maybe even a bit more now, in 2024, so maybe 45, 50 years ago. Now, some of these buildings have been added on since then, much like the big new sheep shed at the back there, but most of them are very old, and they serve a purpose, but they're not fit for purpose. And, for example, the cattle shed here has a very, very small slurry lagoon underneath it, and we are already full down there. We've maxed it out for capacity, and it's only November, and we can't spread anything on the ground again until what is it, mid-January at this point. So we are in a bit of a crisis, bit of a predicament. So that's why we've had to hire in and rent in this giant lagoon, which is probably about 3/4 of the size of our tank down there anyway. So what we're going to do is we got a gentleman coming over with a slurry pump, and we're going to actually fill this up. We're going to pump out of our station over there. We're going to fill this up, and that'll give us plenty of breathing space for the next couple of months, because we just can't carry on as it is. And one of those issues that we have is that we're increasing the size of our beef operation, and we want to increase it further here by quite a drastic number, but we just don't have the facilities to do it. So we're bringing forward one of our construction plans. Let's turn this off because we're going to go and find Bungle, I guess. Cousins over there as well, so we're going to find them. I think they're having a chat about all things cattle, and you can see the work has started already, because we need to get a new slurry store put up quickly as well, because we want to be able to get rid of that temporary measure, have everything in a nice new lagoon. We're going to put a slurry separator in there as well, so we can get a bit more solid manure out of that, and really kind of reduce the impact on the slurry lagoon, because ultimately down here we want to increase our head of beef by at least 100, which is going to mean a fairly large shed over there. So that's certainly something to consider. Now, and he is part of 2/3 of the committee, missing the other uncle, of course. Hello, how are we both today?
Good, thanks.
Alright, not too bad. Good. You can see we already got a start on here. Contractor came in, cleared off the topsoil there, and then put up a first pad down. Now we had to block it off because the escape artist would be through this hole immediately, but this is where we're going to start. That's where the lagoon's going to go, at least. And on this side, it's going to be a big old lagoon and slurry separated next to it. And then the big cattle shed on this side. So that's going to be exciting. What do you think, Cuz? Do you like it?
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? I'm looking forward to seeing how this develops over the next year. It's going to be a huge change to have such an improved beef unit on this farm.
I think so, absolutely. It's going to be fantastic to see just what scale it's going to look like. The plans are difficult to comprehend at the moment, but first things first, I think we need to get that slurry store in, so we have half a chance of being able to handle what we've currently got going on down here. It's getting a little bit tough down here with little space. Thank God we were able to get that hired in lagoon there. That Bowser's going to come in very handy. Yeah, you're not wrong. Big Roger's coming over to fill, to pump into there, isn't he? He should be here later on today, so we'll get that one sorted out. And Cuz, you're looking rather smart. Where have you been?
Oh, I've been to meet with another calf dealer today, looking at different breeds and options for next year.
Very good. And how's everything going over at the satellite yard? I was there not so long ago, and it seems like the calves are doing well, putting on a little bit of weight there at least.
Yes, they're doing well, averaging good gains across the board. The current rations they're on seem to be doing the job. If we can figure out our rotations to include some sugar beet, that would significantly help with our costing.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. And we've got Bungle and I here need to figure out what that's going to look like in terms of acreage, but we can certainly get some beet in for this year. See what that's going to be. We might have to try and find a way to get it chopped up, though. We need to think about that. I've got a few plans, but we'll have to see what we can find. Yeah, no kidding. So what's the latest? What's the time frame for this? What are you thinking? What's it looking like? Have we heard anything? I think they'll be back next week to start the base. And from what I've heard, it's going to be a pretty quick gig. Maybe even just a week, because they're all coming here to do it at once. So it'll be a quick up. Once they get going, it'll be great. The longest part of it will be the slurry separator. Yeah, okay. Well, that's not the main thing we need. We can always... That's a nice to have after the fact, isn't it, really?
Definitely. Main thing we need down here right now is to set up that lagoon and take the pressure off to tank. Shame we could get any more out before the ban came into effect.
Yeah, that would have been great. It would have been very nice indeed. It doesn't... Not always the case. Timing doesn't work out quite right, does it? No, you're telling me. Are we finally getting rid of that wool, are we? Yes. Yes, I am. Not gonna lie, the price I'm getting for it's not great, but it might pay for a cube or two of concrete by the end of it. Oh well, it's better than sitting in the shed. That's it. The price of wool is ridiculous at the moment. Thankfully, lamb's doing okay, so it's holding its own, but good lord, is it poor.
Did you bring everything down from the back of the sheds at Healy?
Yep, that's it. What have I got? 5 pallets, I think. So I'm going to just potter on and get a few things loaded up with the John Deere there, and then whether we'll take it away today or not might be tomorrow, but it'll be on the wheels, ready to go. Oh, good. Perfect. All right, well, I'll let you crack on. We're going to have a bit of a chat about what we're doing with calves, and then we'll see how we go. All right. Okay, perfect. Well, if you need me, I'll be around. I'm just going to have a walk around this site first and then get going, I think.
All right, then. See you in a bit.
All right. Okay, so... bit of excitement there. I'm excited to see how this goes. Next week or so, we could have it really plugged in and away, to be honest. It might not take much longer than that at all. But we'll have to see. We're really trying to up our operation here for cattle. And that's going to take something that's going to take a while to do. But, oh, hello there. We can certainly get a start on it, and having the infrastructure to add another 100 cattle in here minimum would be fantastic there. It really would. But it's going to take some time. We'll also need to think about the different considerations for land as well. Do we need to put a bit more of the land around here into grass and use the land that we're picking up over at the down at Manor Farm there we keep that as it is, or maybe put all that into arable? We don't know. There's a lot to think about there. But yeah, that's about the footprint of the slurry store. Maybe a bit further back as well. But yeah, it's going to be pretty big. It's going to be about just under the top of the A-frame on that shed as well, actually, which will be good. So we'll get into. We've now cleared a little bit, one bay of straw out at least, so we've got a bit more space to store things in. Once we get things like this done, the rest of my week really is going to be held up now with servicing. I'll show you what I've got to do. I want to change the filters on this thing eventually as well, but I got the plow in there now that we're finished with that. All the metals are finally here, so we'll get all the bodywork changed on that one. And I got a tin of paint as well. We might try and get that brushed up a little bit too. Drill's looking okay for now, at least. That will be fine. But then tractors will all get it going over there, change filters on some of them as well. And then they've got to go up to do the combine up at South Ely now that that's all undercover. We finally got those 2 trailer loads sold off as well, which had the a little bit of linseed and some beans inside them. So they're all done and dusted, which is good. So we're really kind of kicking along now, which is great. So aim is for us to continue and just keep on top of everything so that when we get around to it in the spring, we don't have to worry about it. We can just get going. Now, this, ladies and gentlemen, might be a little bit tight. Let's see. Used to be all right with the old JCB. Oh, look at that. We're through. Perfect. What we'll probably have to do is just slide these in a bit, though. That's the one disadvantage of a telehandler. Cannot see a thing that's happening, but we've got 2. All right. Easy does it. Now these are going to go away to some. Usually would send them off to a dealer who would buy them all up in bulk there, and then they would they go to spinneries somewhere up and down the country. But they were just so slow in even getting back to us, and also the cost they were offering when they were coming back with quotes was, oh, I've dropped one. Oh well, was absolutely terrible. So we haven't done that. So we found someone a little bit more independent, and we're going to run with it and see what we can do, see what price it'll give us. Now let's get this Massey turned around. Let's see if we're going to just squeeze through here without any issues. I think we will be fine. Perfect. So yeah, by the sounds of things, at least, contractors are going to be coming in and making a flying start on all things. Oh, back a little bit more maybe. On that slurry pit. I don't know if we'll be able to get it all captured or not. We'll have to see. But chances are we'll come back and there'll just be a finished produce there. But honestly, I'm just looking forward to having that done, really. And it's going to be a key kind of start and sample, really, for what's coming up. And I don't think we haven't needed to get planning permission for it either, because it's an add-on, really, to an active structure. So that should be good. And we will see how it goes. Plan permission is all good though for the new building, so that's handy. That's all been set, and we're just going to keep going through. We have to figure out how I'm going to rescue this one now, of course, but that's less than ideal. You know what? I think I've just nailed it. Look at that. Ah, can't teach that. You cannot teach that. So we're going to get this all loaded up here anyway, and like I was saying to the other two, I'm probably just going to stick this in the corner and leave this trailer for now. I don't really want to have to take this anywhere this afternoon. Other things I'd rather do, so we'll get cracking with it and see what's next on the cards. Alright, well, they're on. That's about all we can say. It's not going too far away though, so we'll be good. We're just going to swing this back around the corner. And then we'll leave it like that for the day, I think. That should be all good. And that's one less job to think about or worry about there. We had to get that done. Like I say, it's not going to pay for much, but maybe we'll get a cube of concrete paid for or so in the grand scheme of this project. because yeah, that's gone up since we last had to use it and last had to get any shipped in, so it's an unpleasant surprise to say the least. However, many of those costs are going to be occurred. We do have a grant that can save us a little bit on concrete, so that's good, and a few other building costs there. And then if we opt to go a bit further with this as well, because there's other stages of this building project that we might well get to at some point, things like the potential to reduce down surface runoff on the farmyard here from rainwater, for example, from the slurry pit, from the silage pit, because everything right now when it rains has to go into the slurry tank under the shed there, and as you may know, it does rain quite a bit here, so we're kind of hampered by that. So we're trying to look into ways of avoiding that. So a few little bits and pieces, or a few bigger engineering projects there could help that one. Obviously, we're not going to look into it too much at the moment. The main thing we'll do is get that calf shed up first, and then we can assess those options. That being said, some of that will be a little bit further down the line. I think we're looking like right now the calf shed, as it will be, is going to hopefully be coming on in around about the I think it's going to be starting in January, so we'll have to see what that looks like. Right then, we're also due to receive something else soon. I need to check with cousin to see if that is on its way, because I thought that was coming tomorrow. We'll have to see though. We're going to just swing this on into here. Perfect stuff. Turn that around. So we got everything mucked out the other day as well. We were able to get a start on clearing out some of the sheds. Something keeps getting bigger and bigger. And then yeah, that's all looking quite good there. Of course, we'll be looking into probably soon starting to cart some of that muck down to the new ground, because we're going to need it down there shortly, I would imagine. So that'll be the option. But yeah, like I say, let's figure out what cousin's doing here. Got that out about cousin. So yeah, later on today we're going to get on, probably put this onto the back of the tractor and just get it looked into for lifting it up, changing all the bodywork over here. This metalwork's all shot, but you know, we had a good run on it. And then we've got all new metalwork to put on. All plowing's finished. The voucher's gone home now. It's been returned. It was a good tractor for us for best part of a month. And yeah, it'll certainly like it a lot. It's certainly an option that we'll be investigating to see, you know, what we can do with one of those in the new year in terms of cost. Nice short wheelbase, but plenty of power to it. Quite punchy as well. So it was a nice machine. Definitely did like that one. Cousin, did you get a go on the voucher? What do you think of it?
Do you know, I really liked it. Very surprised by it.
It's nippy, isn't it? It was pretty sharp. Good amount of weight to it as well for this size. I would like to explore an option like that in the new year.
I'd be curious to see the finances on such a model and compare it with other similar brands.
Yeah, I think so. We'll have to see what's out there and what we can find. But yeah, that's definitely part of the plan. Are you heading off up to back up to South Healy now?
Yup, just about to head up now.
Have we got the calf pens up there yet? Have they arrived? I was going to probably take a drive up and have a look at those sometime soon.
Yes, they arrived this morning. Not quite set up yet, but should be done tomorrow.
Ah, magnificent. Okay. Good to know. Perfect. All right, well, I'm going to just do a bit of work on the plow, get that serviced up, and then get a few other things ticked off here, and I'm looking forward to see what happens over there in the next week. But otherwise, not really much more. I will give you a call in the morning, but I'll come up and see what that's looking like, I reckon.
Sounds good. See you tomorrow.
All right, bye now. Okay, Massey, let's bring that round. Yeah, so we got these new calf boxes coming in, which will allow us to separate any calves off that aren't very well for whatever reason, picking up any kind of illness. So we can kind of keep it contained and keep it away from the rest of the herd there. So that's gonna be really interesting to see. Okay then, let's just do a bit of this. I'm going to put this onto the plow, I reckon. Get that lifted up so we can service it all through. And then we'll be good to go. It's quite a contrasting time of year now. The madness is finished, everything's done, everything's in the ground that needs to be in the ground. So a little bit of pressure has been taken off here, which is good. Now it's already focused on the livestock side of things. Let's get them all done and dusted, which is good. And, you know, just feeding things, shuttling things around. Yard prep as it looks like now. And all right, let's squeeze into here. I can probably start this on the deck, but I will need to pick it up at some stage or another. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna get this tarted up a little bit, and then eventually get it touched up with the paint on there as well. So we'll show you what that looks like when we get it all done and dusted. But as you can see, after we knocked it off with the pressure washer there, it's paintwork is not great, so we'll have to get a little bit of a touch up going there as well. We'll have to see how that looks. All right then, well, couple of hours work on there, and that plow's looking almost unrecognizable. I've just done a bit of paint work on there, so the door's shut. We'll show you what that looks like when we come back for the next episode there, I would suggest. But now it's going to be time for us to think about getting everything fed up again already. So we'll start with the sheep, I reckon. Just throw a bale of hay in for them, then they will be good. And then we don't have to worry about them anymore. And then, yeah, back out with the Ford. That muck heap is just forever increasing, so we'll need to keep on top of that one again. And we'll be okay. But for now, at least, let's just stick these here. On with the bale spike, and yeah, like I say, we'll just get everything fed up here, and it's the start of the routine. And I'll take the tractor up to the back up to South Healy. Cousin's taking our truck up there, so I'll bring that back and let him do everything he needs to down here. But yeah, making good time and good progress. It's one of those kind of days at the moment. I'm really looking forward to see what happens with the construction work over here across the next little while, because it's going to be quite quick, and it's going to be quite interesting to see where it goes as well. So keep an eye out for that one, because we'll try and bring you along for the ride with that as when we see what's happening. But right now, just a wintry day really, middle of November. It's getting dark early. It's only about 4:30, but it's always a signal for me to get going. So we'll do just that, and then once we're all said and done, well, it's time to go home, get some office work done, paperwork done, filled in, and all that good stuff. And then yeah, we'll call it a day. So thank you very much for watching anyway. I do hope you have enjoyed this little update. Let me know what you think about us moving on to some new plans for our for this yard, transforming an old yard into a little bit more of the modern day. Oh, watch that poster. Modern day beef setup. So it's gonna be quite interesting to see where it goes. So let me know, have you done something similar recently, and what does that look like if you have? Until next time though, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed as always. My name has been Simulation for the Nation. If you haven't yet to do so, please do consider dropping a like and subscribing for more, and we will see you all in the next one. Till then, have yourself a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you through the week next week. Catch you later.